Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session with 3 cases. The first case is cause number 330876. Second case is cause number 333582. And the third case is cause number 333. All 3 cases are styled of State of Texas versus Zarias McDowell. Mr. McDowell, would you please come forward with your attorney? Mr. McDowell, your full name is Zarias McDowell, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDowell, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. McDowell, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDowell, you may put your hand down. Again, how are you doing, Mr. McDowell?
Good.
And how are you doing, Mr. Boudreaux?
Good, sir, as I am to see you.
Okay. And again, how are you doing, Mr. Johnson?
Pretty well, thank you.
Mr. McDowell, in cause number 330876, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about July 28th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. McDowell, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. McDowell, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
No comment.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay, Mr. McDowell. Now, Mr. McDowell, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, Mr. McDowell, there's a set of initials next to a box that's checked nolo contingere. Did you place your initials on this document?
Sure.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. McDowell, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDowell, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDowell, before you signed and initialed these documents that I've just shown you, did your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, go over these documents with you?
Sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me States Exhibits 1 and 2. States 2 is the misdemeanor, States 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishment, States 2 is the probable cause affidavits. That document is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer States 1 and States 2.
Any objections?
No, sir.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. McDowell, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boudreaux, you've advised and counseled Mr. McDowell. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
And Mr. McDowell, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McDowell, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given, and I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of no contest in this case, the state has recommended that the court defer adjudicating guilt on this time and instead place defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, and require defendant to complete 40 hours of community service. This case is to run CC with Mr. McDowell's felony case number 22-40382. And lastly, Your Honor, this case will be dismissing 2 companion cases, cause numbers 333582, excuse me, and 333584.
Okay. Mr. McDowell, the state is offering, let's see. Let me do this here. See. Okay, let me, was looking at one of the cases that was, that's being dismissed, the unlawful carry of weapon case,
Yes, sir.
which is clause number 333582.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me do this here first. Now, Mr. McDowell, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, will be a $0 fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $352. You also, did he get probation in the felony case?
Yes, sir.
After 5 years. It was a permanent.
Okay, because this probation fee it's not gonna be $60 because they're gonna pay one probation fee.
Yes, sir.
So, I guess the, probation department will make that adjustment. So it's on here, but in reality, you won't be paying it because your felony probation is longer than the misdemeanor probation. So you only pay one probation fee. You're only gonna pay $60, and that $60 is for all of the cases you're on probation for, you're not paying $60 on each case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And now you'll also be required to pay $15 your analysis fee. Now you'll be required to reimburse the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, on this, to say your monthly installments per month is $130, but in reality, it's gonna be $70 a month because they're gonna take off the $60 for the probation fee. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Now, will you be able to pay the $130 or the $70 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. In this case, the state is waiving a fine, so you're not required to pay a fine. This case will run concurrent with cause numbers 22-40382, and the state will be dismissing cause number 333582 and cause number 333584. And the court is going to find that based on the circumstances surrounding the commission of this offense, that the possession of the weapon seized would pose a threat to the community or one or more individuals, and so therefore the court is going to forfeit that weapon. Okay? And that's pursuant to Article 18.19 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Section D5. We're gonna put that in order. Do we know the description of the weapons that was and the court looked at the circumstances pursuant to the precede?
We do, Your Honor. Give me 1 second. There's just a little wrinkle.
Okay. He doesn't have to do, I mean, I'm gonna make the forfeitures okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you was, okay, you got it, okay. And we're gonna put that description in the, I'll read it into the record.
My apologies, Your Honor. The weapon is a black Glock P80 9mm, serial number BNLS876.
Okay, and that weapon will be forfeited. Who's the agency?
Beaumont Police Department.
The Beaumont Police Department, pursuant to Article 18.19, Section D5, Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, because the court is finding that the circumstances surrounding the commission of this offense, that the possession of the seized weapon would pose a threat to the community or to one or more individuals. All right. Now, Mr. McDowell, do you understand the state's offer and the court's finding?
Yes, sir.
You think it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. McDowell, the court will follow the plea bargain agreement with the findings of the court. Mr. McDowell, if you successfully complete this deferred probationary period, the case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent on those matters. You're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. Well, you're gonna have to make that yeah, just have a seat, and when she finish making the corrections on the judgment, then you're gonna come back up and sign the judgment. And once you finish signing the judgment and get your dismissals, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. All right, just so you could have a seat as well, Mr. Woodrow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.